What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode. Now, I'm going to be doing a back test on the US 500 or S&P 500, right? So we're going to be doing a back test on that just to make sure that obviously the skills are as good as I can possibly get it. All of last week, the news that came out, I was relatively profitable in every single one. I do have a system that I'm currently developing at the moment, okay, but so far it's looking relatively solid. Once it's pretty much as good as I can possibly get it, and I know it won't fail you guys, then I will bring it to your attention. But normally on a day like today, I just do back testing literally for the whole day. Like the whole day, I'm just back testing, and I'll be doing the same thing tomorrow. Normally I don't record it, but as of I think maybe 2 weeks ago, I started recording all of my back tests. So this is one of them, right? So this is one of the back tests that I'll be doing, and I'll be sharing that with you. So as you can see right now, okay, this is where the chart is. But what I like to do, just to make it as unbiased as possible, is I'll move it up and I'll scroll all the way back somewhere, right? As a matter of fact, I'll even get rid of the MACD because even that can tell me things. So I'll just go back as far as I can. Okay, let's just go back. So here looks relatively reasonable, right? So I'm just gonna chop from here, go all the way back, chop from here. Then I'm gonna go all the way up to see the charts where they are. Perfect. Fantastic. So that looks good. Okay. We're just gonna make it a little bit bigger. And the concept of this back test is going to be like the same as all the others that I've been doing, which is resistance and support levels, right? We're going to be using the moving averages. So we have the moving average 20. So that's the blue line that you can see, the blue signal line that you can see right here. And then the moving average 200, which is the red one underneath. So that's that right here. Okay, so we're going to be using those two, as well as resistance, support levels, and all the other additional trend lines that I see and I spot, and I'll be using that to guide me also. But I'm going to be restricting myself only to the 15 minutes, so I will not be going to a higher time frame to get the overall direction. It's only the 15 minute that we're going to be using to help me figure out exactly what is happening and how it's happening. All right. So with all of that done, I'm going to bring on my resistance and support levels, and there they are, right? And also something else I need to add as well in regards to the resistance and support level. So this thick line in the middle right here, okay, is the actual resistance and support level. These levels here and this level over here, it is the zone that I'm trading, okay? So if it's in this zone, I want to be taking trades in this zone. Why? Because the distance between here and here is 20 pips. The distance between here and here is 20 pips. So it's a good way of me measuring risk. It's a good way for me to carry out risk management in my trades, okay? Like it's just automatically built in, and it just makes things that much more easier. Now, in saying that, it does not necessarily mean I will not take trades in the middle, right? Because I can still do that, but the preference is to have it in this zone right here, okay? So now that we've got all of that covered, the next thing that I'm going to bring on is going to be the session. So this is going to be the times when I can trade and the times when I can't. I may trade outside of those zones, okay, doing this back test, but for the most part, I like to stay within the sessions. So because I'm in the UK right now, there are two sessions that actually applies to me, and that is the London and the New York sessions. Why? Because for both of those periods, I am literally active. I'm about in my day, unless if I have nothing going on. And yeah, I mean, literally, it's either I'm doing this or I'm doing something else, but you relatively are awake, right? When the New York market closes, roughly, it's bedtime, right, until the London session opens in the morning. So now that we've gotten that covered, we're just going to get straight into it, right? So first things first, let me have a look to see what all this is going on. So we can see we have an uptrend over here, and price has left this zone right here. Okay, so price has left this zone, and it's now heading up, and we're coming up to the end of the day. So I'm going to set the time to about 3, and we're going to go. Okay, also as well, just to add, I will not be using these buttons to help me with my trades, just because, say for example, if the chart should freeze up for any minute, not for any minute, at any moment, okay, and if I have to refresh, all the history gets erased with it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be using the long and short positions. These are these things right here, right? So that's a short position, and this is the long position, okay? So now that I've explained that to you, we're going to use this, and I'm going to say, looking at where price is right now, so let's get rid of this for now, and I'll explain to you why I'm about to take this trade. So looking at what currently price is doing right now, okay, it could continue to push up to this zone, right? But I'm going to go with the vibe of I'm just going to start selling. And why I'm going to start selling is mainly because I'm just going off the vibe of the moving average. Now, one thing that I also need to mention in regards to the moving average is that don't base your entire faith on it, because it can mislead you, right? It can mislead you. So just don't be too quick to be like, oh yeah, the moving average is done this, so let me do that. Don't do that. Like, try to add in other things as well to support it. So I was going to take a trade here, but I'm going to wait. As I was talking, I thought of something and I thought, yeah, let me just wait. So let's just hit play and see what he does. Okay. I tried to hit stop, but it wouldn't let me, so I've missed this day. But that would have been a nice little sign to get though. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so let me just keep doing this thing. Actually, let me slow it down. I'll slow it down in a second. Okay, so let's do it here. Let me slow it down to 1 speed and let's go. Okay, so it's in an area where I would like to take trades from, right? I should have taken that trade, to be fair. I should have done it. Okay, so let's see what it does. Okay, I don't like where it is. Do you know what? What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a pending sell right about this level over here. So it's going to put in a pending sell right about here. And the target is a 20 pip stop. And then we're going to do it to about this level over here. So let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so that's already in. Let me drag that along. That's already in. Let's hit play. Normally, because of this X over here, I wouldn't take this, but we've done it now. So let's just see what happens, if it's gonna just shut us out completely, or if it's gonna give us some rewards, give us some goodies. So far, this is not looking too good at all. All right. So first trade is a loss. Let's just pause. So we lost that one. And I'm going to go back in again with another sell. Yeah, we're going to go in again. We're going to wait, let's move this out of the way. We're going with another sell. We're going to stick it about here somewhere. And we're going to say we're going to do 20 pip stop. And we're going to drag it down to about this level over here. And then let's see what happens. So these are pending orders that it's outside of my trading zone. So what's the time now as I put this pending order? So it's about 3 in the morning. There's a good chance I wouldn't even be doing this because I'll be sleeping. But let's just see. Let's just see. Okay, so we have a trigger. Right, we're in the game. And now London is opened up, which is fantastic. Okay, so it's giving me 1 for 1 right now. I can actually, no, we're just going to keep it as it is. I was going to say I was bringing in a trading stock. We're just going to leave it as it is, let it run. Okay, so it's now starting to lose a fair bit of momentum at the top now. We can clearly see it. It is squeezing. So let me just put in a little pause right now and just show you what I'm looking at. So as you can see, we have a bit of a squeeze happening right now. It is squeezing. So that's what we can see what's going on right now in regards to price. And if you come to the MACD, we can see that it's flatlining. So it's going into a range for a possible breakout, right? So this could either go in my favor or not go in my favor, but it's in a range now. Now, the situation that we can see right now in regards to the market, what the market is doing, it's an area that you don't want to be in, because this is an area of ambiguity. It can either break up or break down, but it is squeezing, which means it can either fly all the way down this way or we can fly all the way up that way, right? I'm just hoping that it goes in the way that I want it to go. But this is one of the situations that could happen right now because the squeeze has begun. So I can clearly see we're in the squeeze right now. I can do one or two things. So if this was a live trade and I was seeing this happening right now, okay, what I would do is I would exit the market with what I already have, because I know it's squeezing and I don't know what direction it's going to break in, but I would want to join it after it's broken, right? Supposing to obviously be in it. That would be my thinking essentially, right? So let's just go and let's see what it does, if it's going to break to the downside or break to the upside. And if you also look as well, we can see that both the moving averages are now beginning to converge on each other, okay? So we may get a cross, but like I say, the cross on the 15 minute, the cross on the 5 minute, it doesn't really mean that much, all right? It means a little something on the hour, but it means a lot on the 1 hour. I mean, not on the 1 hour, on the 1 day or the week or a higher. So basically, on a higher time frame, the crosses have significant meaning. On a lower time frame, you just have to take them with a pinch of salt. They don't really mean much, unless if you're in it for, I don't know, 5 pips, 10 pips, that kind of vibe. Then yeah, it could work. But other than that, yeah, it's you need to take it with a pinch of salt. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, so as we can see, it's pushing downwards, right? It's pushing, the momentum is pushing to the downside. It has a downwards push bias. The reason why I say that, because of the MACD over here, okay? So now let's see what it does. It's now gone back up again, so let's just see what it does. Just see what it does. It's still relatively flatlined. And this MACD that I'm using is the impulse MACD. It actually is it's a much superior MACD than the one that we're normally used to, or the one that I normally use. So see, so there we have it, a push to the upside. That was possibly the news. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. So as we can see with what's going on right now, I've had many opportunities to get for 1-for-1 ratio. All right, I've had many opportunities to get a 1-for-1 ratio. I had an opportunity over here to jump out. I had an opportunity over here to jump out, and I've had many opportunities over here to jump out with a 1-for-1, which basically is what I'm risking, is what basically I'm taking out. But let's just see, because obviously we want to hit TP. So let's see what happens. Or at least we want to get double the amount so I can bring in a trailing stop. But let's just see what happens. So, and don't forget to keep your eye on the MACD as well. Watch what that one there is doing, because that will give you a really good idea. So as we can see, I'm just going to pause now again, right? So as we can see, we've had another cross of the moving average, the moving averages right at this level over here. So it's crossed again, okay, right? According to the MACD, it's still relatively flatlined. I mean, the impulsive signal and the MACD signal is giving us some type of movement. So if you just look at it just from this zone right here, just from this area, right? Just from this area over here, we can see relatively it's flatlining. It's not a complete flat line. I mean, this is a complete flat line. So this here is a complete flat line, but this is not a complete flat line, but it's still relatively flat. There isn't any type of strong movement. So at this level right now, I would need to make a decision. Do I want to stay in or do I want to jump out? Now, for the sake of this back test, I'm going to stay in. But if this was a real live market situation it was in right now, I would definitely be considering jumping out. At least I would have brought in a trailing stop around this level soon as the flat line began. So if it breaks, perfect, I get what I want. If it doesn't break, then literally I'm out. So where I've bought this arrow, where this line is, that is where I would bring in a trailing stop if this was real world trading that I was doing, right? I would secure what I've gained. There is no point like losing anything. So we're just gonna jump out of that. We're just gonna let that flow. Let me get rid of this as well. Let it flow. As Bruce Lee says, let it flow like water, right? So maybe I should have jumped out. Okay, so let's just see what it does. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Now there are other tools you can use for your back tests, okay? But me personally, I just use this because I'm really paying for TradingView anyway. So why pay for something else that literally it makes no sense to me? But there are other tools. This actually is a much superior tool to back testing that will help you with everything in regards to position sizes, lot sizes, which is the same thing, risk to reward ratios and all the rest of it. So it does it all for you. But since we have this and we can do it with this, why not do it with it? That's my thinking anyways. So literally we've been sitting in this trade for 3 days, right? This trade has been going on for 3 days now. And of 2 of those days I was profitable, and now I've gone negative. So let's see if we're going to win. Let's see if we're going to win. In real life, I would have won this trade, hands down. Okay. Hence why it pays to be patient. Look at this thing go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. So now we can see with the histogram on the MACD, we definitely have some kind of movement, and it's actually heading. It may so the impulse signal of the MACD, which is the blue line, and the MACD signal line, which is the red line, okay, it's heading towards my artificial RSI zone that I've placed in. So this is an RSI zone that I've put in on the MACD just to let me know when it's oversold or underbought, right? So let's see, once it gets to around this level, I will then need to seriously consider jumping out of this trade. I would definitely need to consider that, okay? And also as well, guys, right? Why I may want to consider jumping out of this trade now, all right, supposing to let it run, is it's come to this level right here. So we can see price normally likes to pull back from this level. So we can see we've got a level over here, and we can see we have a level over here, okay, right? It's not the actual resistance and support levels that I've actually drawn out. This is just a little something that market does tend to obey, which is where it normally pushes back from. So let's see what's going on here, right? Let's just see what's going on for now. Let's see how this whole thing develops. I think in this one back test alone that we're doing, there is quite a lot of information in here that we can actually use for future trades, right? So let's just see how this goes. See how it goes. Okay, so it's now broken through. It's now broken through and it's heading to the first zone, the zone where I would like to take trades from. So at this point right now, it's absolutely essential that a trailing stop is activated. Okay, so we definitely will be bringing in a trailing stop right now, and the trailing stop is covering this area right here. because I pretty much have 80% off my TP target that I was after, right? So why risk it? Why take it back up to, I don't know, back to 10% or 5% or 1% or even negative? Makes no sense. So I brought in, so this is my trailing stop. And let's just see what happens if it hits TP or not. Okay. See what it does. And at this level, I would want to be considering taking buys, because don't forget, this is an uptrend. All right, so it is an uptrend. So we definitely want to think about that. Okay. Boom. TP hit. Guys, this is how it's done. This is how it is done. This is how it is done. And this is what I want to take into the real world trading. And this is what I strive to do. Remove emotions off the money away from yourself and look at your overall strategy. Look at that. So first, we could see there was a squeeze over here, right? And I had an idea, I had a feeling. So not an idea. I had a feeling that price was going to break. So let's look at the MACD for a second. We look, we see, as I'm dragging it along, it breaks the flat line, okay, but then goes straight into a range. So first, not a flat line, sorry. So first it was going into a squeeze, then it broke out of the squeeze, right, to go into a range, then broke in the direction that we thought it was going to go in, right, and literally gave us TP. And look at that, it did its thing. And if you look at the MACD, we can see it building up, building up, building up, building up, building up, and then obviously get into TP, which is where we are at right now. Right, so this is a fantastic result, and this is the kind of results that I strive to replicate in the market. So now what I'm going to do, because I've hit TP right now, right, first I'm going to go back and I'm going to assess the direction of the market overall, right, see what market is doing, right. And looking at what it's doing, I can see that price like to visit this zone a fair bit. So this zone is an area of interest in regards to the market. So this zone right here. So this zone right here is an area of interest to the market right now. So what I am going to do, since price has broken through, right, is I'm going to take another risk, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so let's just zoom in a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in another sell right here where my TP was just triggered, right? It's a pending order. Our risk is going to be 20 pips. 20 pips, 20, get it on that done. Yep, 20 pips. And then we're going to target that zone again, right? So we're going to target this zone. We're just going to see if we can squeeze out a little bit more out of it. You know, we're going to go all the way to the bottom, right? We're going to go all the way to the bottom. So we're going to do 120. So let's hit that and let's see how that goes. That might go against us. That might actually pan out, but let's just see what happens. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to drag the trade across because it has been activated. And remember, when you actually put in a pending order into your live order, it's just that straight level that's dead across. So if it just goes into it, it's triggered. So we're not going to wait for it to just keep bouncing around until it gets to it, because once it's placed at that level, this whole zone is an active order line, right? So it went up into it, so this order is activated, right? So let's just hit play and see what happens. Okay. So right now we're now 1 for 1 in terms of how low it went. So it went down to, gave us 20 pips. I could have jumped out with that, but we're going to keep this whole party going, and then we're going to see what happens. It needs to break below this level. It literally needs to break below this level. Okay, so let's see what's going on with the MACD. And the MACD is looking fairly stable. It did go into the oversold position, right? But it did a violent swing to the upside, and now it's flatlining again. So let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. Okay, so that was it. We took a loss right there. So we took a loss. Oops. So we took a loss, right? So this gave us, how many was in here? So this roughly 96 pips was in this zone right here that we secured, and we lost roughly 20 pips up here, and we lost 20 pips over here. Okay, so we're gonna do one more trade, just one more trade, and then we're going to call it a day. So first things first, let's get a buy position in. I'm gonna put the buy right here, so see if it triggers. We're going to target 20 pips. And we're going to aim for 100 pips as TP. So let's see what we get. If it triggers, if it doesn't. Okay. I kid you guys, I absolutely love this game. I absolutely love this game. This is one of the best games out there to play, which is the whole Forex market, CFD market, stocks markets. Like, it's the ultimate game. Like, if you are a gamer, right, this is the game you should be playing. This is the game you should be playing, right? Put the Call of Duty down, put all of that down, and this is the game you should be playing. Obviously, it does require work, you know. There are no cheat codes. There are no cheat codes. You absolutely need to know what it is you're doing. But yeah, but once you kind of got this figured out, my friends, I promise you, there is no better feeling in the world than knowing that you are in control of your own life. That you are in absolute control of everything you do. The only thing you need is an internet connection and you are good. All right, so guys, so as we can see, in the words of Kang from Loki, we have crossed the threshold. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my trailing stop right here. Okay, bring in a trailing stop, right? So I'm not going to lose anything below this level. Right, we've done a fair bit. We definitely got a decent amount in there. We've made back all of our losses, right? We've made back all of our losses. So we've lost 2 trades and we've won 2 trades, right? And our wins are superb. So let's just see if we're going to hit TP. Oh, Lord. What a fantastic piece of content I've created for you guys today. I am absolutely impressed with this content, right? Guys, we have TP hit. We have TP hit, okay? So we won 2 trades. We've lost 2 trades, but our profits in the 2 trades is more than what we've lost, right? So it's been a very, very, very good trading week. A very good trading week. So this trade itself was about 3 days. This one here was 2 days. So it took 2 days for it to go wrong. And this one over here was literally 2 days. All right, so 2 days, we turned it around, and obviously we've made bank. and we've done very well. So guys, listen, if you found the content useful, okay, hit the subscribe button on your way out, okay? Drop us a like and leave us a comment if you found the content super useful, all right? And I aim to be doing more of these backtests. Like literally for the whole of today, I'm going to be recording backtest videos, right? So they're just going to be getting released throughout the week. I'm just going to schedule them all just to release that all throughout the week, as well as doing the overall live market analysis that I'll be doing throughout the week also. All right, so when you're watching these backtest videos, especially next week, right, because there's going to be a few that lands. I don't know how many, because it just depends on how many I do, how many I record, and the editing, because sometimes you just get tired. I'm just like, oh, you know, I just can't be bothered, let me just leave it alone. But today feels like a day where I feel like I'm going to get a lot done. So you're going to see quite a few of these backtest videos coming through. So just make sure you check them all out, because they're all very super useful, okay? And it's actually building up to a particular concept that I'm going to be sharing with you later on down the line. And you're literally watching it right now. You're literally watching the concept right now. I'm just trying to refine it as much as possible, so that when I actually deliver it to you guys, the success rate on that is going to be phenomenal. And if you're new to trading, you don't have to go through all the anxiety, the stress, the depression, the naysayers, and all these things that I basically went through. I don't know how many other traders went through and when we were learning this stuff, because literally I had no support whatsoever. As a matter of fact, if I listened to the people, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I literally wouldn't be doing it right now. And those are the same people that are literally coming up to me saying, hey guy, not even hey guy, like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, could you tell me how to do this and how to do that and all of the other stuff? And I'm just looking at them, I'm like, bro, like 2 years ago, you was the one that was telling me that I was wasting my time. Now you're looking at me like an expert. But I don't harbor anything like that. So I'm like, hey, listen, this is what we do, this is how we do it, look at this, look at that, and then make sure you make the moves, and so on and so forth. So you are watching a really big event take place live in front of your eyes. You're actually watching a transformation right now, right? And if you go and watch every single one of my videos, you will see that the content itself has improved in terms of knowledge being delivered, which basically means that I am improving at a very good rate. Ideally, I want to know everything tomorrow, but the world doesn't work like that. It takes time. So I could go on with this rant for a little bit longer, right? I could actually do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip it all in the bud right here, right now, right? I want to thank you for coming over to watch another episode, because I definitely appreciate you for doing that. And I will see you in the next video, which will be very soon. So for now, this is Pips and Points signing out.